and then you go to church and you smile and you're hurting inside, and then you're asked to sing or you're asked to speak or whatever it is that you're expected to participate, back at your church or your hometown church, just leaving from someone that has been abusing you for months or for years, and just back and forth, feel like a tennis ball just going back and forth. And then you smile, but you're deeply inside, you're hurting and you're confused, and you don't know if it's safe to talk to people because you don't know what they're going to think of you, and you know how they gossip about everybody else. They'll be gossiping about you, so that's even more worry, that's even more hurt on top of the hurt that you already have from your abusive spouse. And then from there, you start feeling resentment against your mother, or I started feeling resentment against my own mother, because I felt that, my thoughts, I felt that she wanted to paint this beautiful picture of this happily married couple, and that's the way to go. That's the way that things are. That's what those things should be for those who are in a Christian family or Christian household or grew up on those morals and on those values. But the real life of it all is that it was not no fairy tale princess. Yes, my kids did have, what they needed, just like any other average family. They could have had so much more opportunities, had their mother had the strength and had the wisdom and had the desire and the understanding of knowing how much more she's worth and how much farther she could go. So you start having a resentment against those people that are close to you because you want to paint the pretty picture. You want them pleased with you, and that's just not the case. It just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. It doesn't bring happiness. It doesn't bring you joy. It doesn't make you feel complete. It doesn't make you feel that anybody loves you even anymore. If anything, it makes you feel that you are just a little portrait for them, and to reveal and to show off to the little hometown or what have you. And it may not be a show off as in Cinderella show off, but just, oh, we made it. We got to prove that we've made it. Although we made mistakes, we all made mistakes. We got to prove it in their way, and in society way, in our community way, in our neighborhood way, in our Christian way, and in our church way, in our religious way, that this is how it is. And you forget, you brush things under the rug. You don't, I'll never forget, but you brush things under the rug and you continue on. You continue to move forward. You continue to know that God changes people because, okay, this is God. You've seen and you've witnessed his miraculous works. You've witnessed, when you pray that things change. You know it. But this is just not the case. And this is just not the season. I had to learn about the different seasons and the times, and just basically come to know God for myself, and not know God through my parents, and not know God through my pastor, and not know God through my best friend, not know God through my aunts, not know God through my siblings. But I had to know God for myself, and that was the only way that things would change. And the things that would change would start with me, because I would change. And the way that I would change is that I would understand what I'm worth. I would understand that I deserve to be loved. I would understand that there is more out there. Not saying you have to go running after every man, but there's more men out there that would treat you with utmost respect, that will love you, that will cherish you, that will honor you. That's true. They're out there. But in order for them to come, you got to remove the dead weight. And that dead weight comes from hurt. That dead weight comes from the pain. That dead weight comes from the setbacks. That dead weight, that dead weight comes from things that happened years ago that people remind you of, things that may have happened in high school and people still remind you of in your adulthood days of bad situations that happened that you know, that even my ex did to me then, and people will still make a joke out of it. It's 20 years later. So the hurt starts, and the shame starts, and the embarrassment starts, and the wanting to go and dig a hole starts, and wanting to just stay away from everybody else and just find somebody, just move far, far away you can, or just find somebody that nobody else knows, no one else knows him, no one else can decide and judge for him. And then you just find yourself in a place, in a deserted place, a lonely place. And if it was not for the prayers and the faith of my parents and my grandparents, I wouldn't have never made it. But I made it. I made it, and here I am. You may say, oh, she doesn't look like she's been through anything. You have no clue. You have no clue how embarrassing it is when the police officer has to come to your new home, or to your home you just moved into, and you got a job and everything's going great, you think. And because you look too good, or because you smell too good, or because you're not asking for money anymore because you're making your own money now, then the police have to come and witness. And he's gone off to work like it's fine, like nothing's happened. And then they witness this hole in the wall. Not just a regular hole, but the sheetrock is completely pushed in. It is the exact same as my height, exact same as my width of my body. And you have to stand right next to it so you can take pictures of that and take pictures of the scratches on your neck. And they can't see the bruises that's internal. They can't see the bruises that you feel like your glands are swollen. They can't take pictures of that. And then later they tell you, oh, we can't do anything about it because we can't go arrest him because his job where he's located at is in a different county. We don't have jurisdiction over that. So what you will have to do, we'll just have to catch him here one day, here where the kids are. By that time, the person has come back home and returned home apologetic all over again for the 100th time. So what do? This time I'm going to change. I'm sorry for hurting you. I didn't mean it. I did this because of that. I did it because of this. Or I thought that they played the guilt. I thought that you didn't care about me anymore. And it never stops. It goes on and on and on. And then you hit your 10th year, close to 10 years of marriage, not counting the years of dating. And a decade has gone by. A decade. Time that you will never get back. Ever. So I just say, whoever is out there listening to me, you won't get the time back. You will not reap the benefits of it, of what you think you're going to reap the benefit of. You won't reap the benefits. So stop looking and stop waiting and stop wasting your time, because you won't get it back. It's going to take even double that amount of time to build your own self-esteem, to know your worth, to know how much God loves you and how to love yourself again. It's going to take that much time. So now we're at 20 years later. Later. All that mess started with me at age 17, 18, signs were there. I'm 40 years old now. 18. So I'm 40 years old now. So go figure. Now I'm finally stepping out. Finally have more boldness. Finally not embarrassed to spread and tell people what I've been through. 30 years later, I'm finally healed. It's not worth it. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your children's life and well-being. It's just not worth it. Find yourself. Find yourself. But in order to find yourself, you have to seek and know God first. And He will show you the love. He will show you the care and the concern He will show you the kindness. He will teach you that love is not jealous. It's not being impatient. It's not calling each other names and degrading one another. He will show you that. But you first have to seek Him and build a relationship with God.